Sushant Sareen also joining us for the latest on that. Sushant, good morning. How should one see this development? Do you think this is India's constant efforts? Should we take it with a pinch of salt? That a UNSC report is at least mentioning that there is TRF that has consistently at least twice claimed responsibility and is seen as offshoots of these other big terror outfits.
Look, I think we need to be careful about how we see this particular report. The fact that the UN report mentions it, I think that's a shot in the arm. There's no mistaking that. If it was as bizarre as, our enemies would want it to sound like, that, this kind of a thing has been put in the report, the Pakistanis will, of course, say what they will. But the fact that it's not just India and Pakistan in that particular people who form that report. There are people from other countries as well. And if there is a certain amount of credible evidence, only then these things go into the report. Somebody just can't conjure up something from their own imagination and put it in the report. So it forms a kind of a basis. It forms a kind of a documentary talking point with the rest of the world about the TRF, its links with the lashkar-e-taiba, and the links of both those organizations with the Pakistani state. Not the deep state, not the establishment, the Pakistani state. This includes the politicians like Shahbaz Sharif and others who pander to them. The Speaker of the Punjab Pakistan Assembly says that his dad and Hafiz Saeed are best buddies. So that tells you the kind of nexus that exists in Pakistan between terrorists and politicians. And the same man is also linked to Asim Munir, so it tells you the politician, military, terrorist links in Pakistan. The point is that when this kind of a report comes out, it forms one of the building blocks for the campaign against Pakistan and its sponsorship of terrorism. So if you see it in that light, it's a shot in the arm. If you think something is going to happen because this report has come out, then I am afraid you're barking up the wrong tree.
Interesting. Sushant, one more question. Do you think India needs to continue? Clearly, there are some efforts that are on, and we shouldn't just sit back and wait. We shouldn't be in a defensive mode, but assertive one when it comes to our diplomacy and reaching out more to whether it's global outreach or to convince the world about what exactly Pakistan is about.
Oh, absolutely. I think it needs to be a no-holds-barred kind of a campaign, but it needs to be a campaign which is well thought out.
Correct.
It should not be knee-jerk. It should not, come out of just pure passion and anger. It should be a reasoned kind of an argument that we make. It should be an argument which is compelling because it is accompanied by facts, and it should be in a language and an idiom that connects with your audiences. Now, very often what we've seen in India's strategic communications is that people in the government are talking to their domestic constituency. But that's not the constituency you want to address internationally. So the messaging internationally needs to be very different than what you want to give messaging in maybe some town in Madhya Pradesh or in Telangana or in Maharashtra. That's a completely different messaging. And somehow that simple reality seems to have escaped the geniuses running the government.
Well, let's hope that the tone and tenor, especially when it comes to reaching out to world leaders, will be better thought out. It shows and it reflects there are certain changes that are happening after USA's decision, then the UNSC. But we need to keep going because the world possibly is listening this time. Sushant, appreciate you joining us. Thank you very much. Gaurav Sawant also for the latest on this. I want to just take you back a few weeks ago. In the parliament, and this is very important, always remember this. This is Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, Ishaq Dar. He was the one in Pakistan's parliament to say this about the TRF, which is clearly an offshoot of the Lashkar-e-Taiba and other groups. Here's what he had said.
India has avenged the cowardly.
पाकिस्तान के बिहाफ पे मेरे दो इतराज़ात थे। एक उसमें पहलगाम लिखा हुआ था सिर्फ, और दूसरा उसमें ब्लेम डाला गया था द रेजिस्टेंस फोरम। ये वो फोरम है कि जब 2019 में इसको हड़प किया गया गैर कानूनी, जो कि हम नहीं मानते, वो बिल्कुल इलीगल है। तो उसके नतीजे में जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में एक फोरम बना जिसका नाम है द रेजिस्टेंस फोरम, और उस पे उसको कंडेम किया गया, उसको जिम्मेदार ठहराया गया उस प्रेस रिलीज में। तो मुझे आई, मैंने देखा, मैंने कहा ये एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है। मैंने कहा यहां हमें एविडेंस दिखाएं कि ये द रेजिस्टेंस फोरम ने, द TRF ने किया है, तो फिर हम इसको रहने देंगे, या उनकी ओनरशिप दिखा दें कि इन्होंने एक मीडिया में चला भी दिया कि उन्होंने ओन कर लिया, वो झूठा था। उनके नहीं, ये नहीं है। तो उस पर करीबन हमारे जी 2.5 दिन लगे। वी रिफ्यूज टू बज इन। मुझे बड़े बड़े कैपिटल से कॉलें आई कि देखें इस वक्त मैं जी नथिंग डूइंग, ये नहीं हो सकता, पाकिस्तान विल नॉट एक्सेप्ट।